Hi, everybody. It is episode 560 of PodQuest.
Hey.
2025. I am Chris. With me is Drootin.
Hello.
And Walnut.
Yeah, I'm here.
And yeah, we're back. It's another episode. Rich, did you watch UHF?
I did.
Awesome. Guys, he watched UHF.
Hey, you did it.
I did. I remembered.
It would be honestly, it would have been really funny if you forgot again.
I thought about it. I thought about saying I forgot, but then it wouldn't have been that I forgot it. Just would have been that I neglected to do it. And so
That is true.
It wasn't and I forgot this situation. Especially since you also reminded me. Like, I knew I needed to watch it today, but you also said, did we do anything besides watch UHF?
Yeah, but you have often pointed out you don't pay attention to when I say things.
No, I mean, I do. I do sometimes. I just got your text asking if I was running behind.
Yeah, have you not been getting messenger notifications, or have you just not had them turned on or something?
I literally just got the notification of you asking if I was running behind just now.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was, that was a while ago.
It said quarter after, so it was only about 5 minutes ago, but still.
Yeah, but like comparatively.
Yeah.
But I've noticed a few times where like message you and like it seems like it takes a while for you to see it. That's why I was wondering if you just had notifications disabled.
I mean, sometimes I see that I have a message and just wait until I have a chance to respond to it, and so I keep the push notification on my phone, so I know that I need to respond to it.
Oh yeah, so you don't forget that you saw the message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because I've gone over this with like you guys know I have a bazillion emails and stuff like that. Like, I read the email through the push notification. If it's not an email I need to really worry about, I just swipe it away. That's why I have a million emails. And it's the same thing with text messages and things like that. If it's if it's a text message I need to read and respond to right away, I will read and respond to right away. If not, I keep that thing on the push notification until I have a chance to respond to it. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not going to remember to respond to it.
Yeah, you know what? That is fair. I will do that with like messages from people sometimes too. Especially like if I'm driving or something, like I'll see what like if it was like important and then just like let it stay there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But enough of that nonsense. What's on the agenda?
So we all watched UHF. Cobb, you watched Daredevil Born Again. I seen a movie that's no longer out in theaters now called The Thunderbolts. It's only been in theaters for like 3 days and it's already out. Drew has been playing MLB the Show, and I played all of South of Midnight in 3 days. It's not a long game.
Yeah, it's like 8 to 10 hours, right?
It took me about 10 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
Give or take. But yeah, that's the show.
Nice. Well, what did you guys think of UHF?
Just the movie's stupid. Stupid in a good way.
In a good 80s way.
It's stupid in a good way.
It's stupid in a Weird Al way.
Yeah, that's another good way to put it.
Well, what a fucking cast, though, too.
I just want to throw out there, too, it just took me 3 tries to type UHF. I kept typing UGG.
I mean, fair.
But what a cast, too, man. That's a pretty interesting cast.
Kramer the Nanny.
The head of the TV station.
Oh yeah,
Channel 8.
I forget that guy's name, but he's in a lot of shit.
He's a great actor too. I too don't remember his name, but where's he at?
Kevin McCarthy.
Literally just typed UGG again while trying to Google the movie.
Yeah, Kevin McCarthy. He's great. Passed away in 2010. Then he's not who I thought he was. Then never mind.
So what? Fuck that guy. He's not important anymore.
I mean, I'm sure he's still great. He had the same like voice as a different older actor.
He does look he does look and sound familiar for sure.
Yeah. What's his name? What was what's the Joey Tribbiani's actor's name? Matt
LeBlanc. He wasn't in that movie, was he?
He wasn't in this movie, but he was in a show that the actor I'm thinking of was in. So I wanted to find the actor I'm thinking of. Stacy Ketch.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He gave me like Stacy Ketch vibes. Like, that's who I thought it was. He had like a similar voice as Stacy Ketch. And so that's who I thought he was. But yeah, it was a stupid movie. It was dumb. There were something. Obviously, this movie. There's a lot of things I don't think this movie would keep this movie from being made today, for sure. Pretty sure.
I think overall, though, it was actually pretty like by like 80 standards for like kind of like the just not cool stuff that they tended to do in those movies. This one like wasn't that bad.
No, but the Gandhi 2 trailer, I'm pretty sure that was brownface.
Oh yeah, I mean like that's why I said like this one was not that bad. Not that it wasn't bad at all.
I love the line when they were trailering his talk show, his the Town Tonight show or whatever he called it. It was lesbian Nazi something, and it just made me laugh so much. I was like, this is stupid. I hate it, but it's so funny. Because yeah, it's Weird Al humor because he wrote it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, he did write it. Okay.
I believe so. I'll real quick double check, but pretty sure.
Yeah, written by.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all just Weird Al humor, so it's. I thought there was gonna. It's been a long time since I had seen it, and I was like, man, they should have thrown in like he should have thrown in at least one other parody, but I don't think he was really doing parodies at the time, was he?
Yeah, I'm sure he was.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know Weird Al, man. I know Weird Al. I just don't know when he started doing shit and when he got famous. But it's just Kramer being in it. When I first saw it, I didn't realize it was Kramer, and it took me a while to realize that it was Kramer up until it's like when he really started having his own lines. I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely Kramer. Like he doesn't, because this movie was made a couple of years before Seinfeld.
1 year. It actually premiered the same year that Seinfeld premiered.
He doesn't look like Kramer. There was enough.
Well, he didn't have the longer straight up hair, but he had a lot of the same mannerisms.
Yeah, that's what it really was.
And like his like vocal portrayal was also very different too.
Yeah, he didn't have like the higher pitch. He had a lower pitch voice and lower tone voice and stuff like that. But I did find myself getting bored with it and kept checking to see how much longer was left. I don't know if that's because Tubi has ads, and so I was just getting bored with the ads in general, or if just the movie, it is a little bit of it does feel a little, I don't know, a little too much at times. It's only
drags
an hour
a little
half,
bit in the middle.
Yeah.
Like it's like some of the TV show stuff goes on a little too long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think the opening parts of it, leading up to him getting the TV station and then making it successful, and then the whole end sequence with fighting at the other TV station and buying their station from the guy. I think all that actually went really well.
Yeah. I mean, there were, like you said, there were the Gandhi trailer, the Gandhi 2 trailer was I don't understand what that was for. The scene where they were delivering animals to that guy's apartment after we had already seen his first episode or something like that, and it was we got badgers, and he's like, no badgers! It's that didn't come into play again. Why did we need that scene?
Yeah.
It's almost like they only really had a 75-minute movie. Yeah, so they had to pad it out to hit that hour and a half mark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they definitely had to fill time. You could tell this is a fairly low budget movie, and they only had enough time. They just had enough time to make this. I don't know how I feel about the guy being an alien.
I thought that was stupid and great. I loved it.
I feel not that I was super invested in the movie. This isn't a movie you're going to get incredibly invested into. No. But I feel like adding that makes it less grounded, and then also just makes me lose touch with it a little bit. I was it would have been funnier if he just walked off stage, not changing into an alien or something like that, and then maybe cut to him after stuff resolves and be where's my ship or something like that, or just him just sitting in a forest waiting for more aliens. Just make him a crazy guy and not an alien would have made it better for me and a little bit more grounded. Well, it would have made it incredibly more grounded.
Yeah, see, for me, I thought that part was funny.
I don't know. It was unexpected in my opinion, and it's just to me, it lost it a little bit for me. It's just this movie was fairly grounded until this point, and then it's just there's this random guy who happens to be an alien. I don't know. It was just weird to me. It was.
I mean,
weird.
They made a game show about spinning a wheel of fish. There wasn't a whole lot of ground going on here.
It was. I mean, look, just because fish swim and aren't walkers doesn't mean it's not grounded. They won their weight in fish, man. Some of those fish were expensive, so those were some high prizes. red snapper is pretty expensive, man.
I mean, but was it expensive in 1989?
I'm sure even worse than now.
You don't know.
Fish is expensive, and fish is better. Like economically, fish should be a lot cheaper than what it is. It's easier to farm and it's easier to produce than even meat and cattle. But for some reason, it's still fucking expensive.
That's because nobody wants farm-raised fish.
I mean, yeah, true. But if you get farm-raised salmon, it's not going to be pink. But at the same time, farm-raised salmon is more economically and environmentally friendly than farm-raised cow. So that's a thing we should. But it's also people are just like, oh, I don't like fish because it smells. Well, grow up.
I mean that too, but it does smell. It does.
That's the thing is fish. If you're getting fish and it smells incredibly fishy, you're getting bad fish. Fish shouldn't be giving off that a bad fishy smell. There's still going to be a scent, but as it shouldn't be incredibly fishy. It shouldn't be that bad. It's also
depends on the fish too.
Fish doesn't. I don't understand the hatred on fish. I like fish. I eat fish.
So I like most fish. I don't like all fish.
I don't get it.
Actually, I don't really like white fish all that much. I won't be like, no, I refuse to eat that, but it's just not my favorite.
White fish is way better when it's battered and fried.
I mean, yes, that is true.
I mean, everything's way better when it's battered and fried.
I mean, fair.
That's also true.
Trying to think of more specific instances of the movie that are just the whole movie was just ridiculous. I don't understand why they both got fired at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
because they said mean things.
No, he said mean things.
Yeah, but the other guy
was trying to get him to stop saying mean things.
Guilty by association.
No. I mean, no.
I mean, yes, no. I
that is the why.
Yeah.
But should it have been? No.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Find the marble in the oatmeal. You get to drink from the fire hose.
Oh yeah,
that was just so stupid.
That guy's whole show was just the goofiest thing.
Yeah,
but it was everyone's favorite show.
Yeah, I honestly, like I said, I'd seen this before, but I didn't realize exactly what it was, or I didn't pay too much attention. It's been a long time since I've seen it, and I thought there was more of a I thought there was a conflict of whether or not the station should be open and running, and not strictly a conflict of Uncle's gonna sell it because he lost all his money. And so I thought initially I was like, oh, this is gonna be similar to there's a movie called Pirate, not similar, but because this one's Pirate Radio's a drama, but it's gonna be what's that?
I've heard of that movie.
Yeah, I want to watch it. It's been a while. I've never watched it, but I've seen clips and stuff. I'm like, man, this seems interesting. Plus Philip Seymour Hoffman, he's a great actor. Rest in peace.
Not anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, so I was like, oh, this is similar to that, where it's oh, this TV station just starts broadcasting whatever they want, and then they're getting in trouble, but they're trying to become a legit station. No, I was completely wrong. But it's still I just love the idea of, oh, I'm now the owner of a TV station because I won it gambling in poker. And it's just I don't think that's how that works. I don't think that's how any of this works.
Well, I mean, if the dude just owned it and just gamble it.
I mean, that's I don't know TV in the 80s. But I don't think just one person would own a TV station.
A tiny little, essentially, a tiny little barely broadcast station. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. A local broadcast station.
Yeah. It wasn't a network TV station. It wasn't a CBS, ABC, NBC affiliate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because it isn't. It's not it's NBC, where NBC is owned by NBC Universal, who is owned by some sort of controlling group, a board of directors or something like that. It's more like an NFL team. Which quick segue. Did we ever talk on here about the Green Bay Packers?
Recently, not really. Was there a recent thing that happened?
So I just recently found out that they are a publicly owned team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I had no idea. It's super interesting. I fell down a deep rabbit hole looking into it. What a weird thing to have exist.
They're like owned by the city or something like that, right? Or like owned by the citizens of the city or something like that.
Well, I mean, they occasionally do like sales of shares in the team, but as opposed to being owned by like one person or a small group ownership group, they have like, this massive shareholder group instead.
Which like gets no benefit. Like there's no actual benefit to it. Like you're not making money if the team does well. You get to like attend the like yearly shareholder meeting, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But like the shares also aren't all that expensive. The last time they opened up was at 21-22, and they were only like I think $600 for a share, which like that's a lot of money, but also not that much money compared to what like other stocks go for regularly.
For a sports memorabilia collector, that's not that much. Like and it's like it's weird to say that shares of a football team would be memorabilia because it's so many of it. There's so many shares, but like it would be memorabilia, and that's really all. It's similar to like UHF at the end of that, where it's like, oh, $10 a share. It's like you're not actually getting anything when you buy the share. It is just a donation for a piece of paper, but it's memorabilia of like, oh, this crazy thing that happened in our town.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the whole Packers thing was just like crazy because like I had never known that, and like it's an actual like league rule that like teams have to be owned either by an individual or a small group of individuals. They can't be owned by like companies.
Yeah, and the Packers are just this one like grandfathered in.
Yeah, because they've been that way since like the 20s or something like that, and they've only sold shares like 8 times in nearly 100 years.
Oh, really? That's all. Okay.
Yeah, like there were big gaps where they didn't do it at all. It was like
fair
90s, the early 2000s, and like the 2021, and then like a couple times back in like the 30s and 40s.
Oh, actually, it's only 6. There have been 6 stock sales: 23, 35, 50, 97, 2011, and 2022.
Yeah, like it's kind of crazy.
How about that?
Just kind of like a cool little like trivia thing too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anything else about UHF?
Not really.
It's funny. Go watch it.
It's I enjoyed it. I think like all in all, it actually holds up fairly well for like a really kind of like cheesy 80s comedy.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. So for the last one for the 80s, we're gonna do Commando, the 1985 Schwarzenegger movie.
Sounds right.
1985. Yep. I forget where it was streaming, but it was streaming somewhere that like we could get a trial for. AMC maybe. And I think you could get a trial through Amazon Prime. So yeah, 2 weeks we'll watch Commando. It's a movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger carries an entire fucking tree on his shoulder. Also, his daughter is Alyssa Milano, and she gets kidnapped by an Australian that is really into like chainmail tank tops.
Is on Philo, which you can get a free trial.
Okay, that too.
According to Google.
I know I saw it on like AMC Plus through Amazon Prime as well.
We might want to double check that because it might have dropped off at the beginning of the month.
Oh, nice.
Because it's not showing anywhere, basically on Just Watch.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, that changed.
Yeah, I remember when we talked about it last week, and I was pretty sure it said it was on.
You can watch it.
Else.
You can watch it on Apple TV through Philo, whatever this Philo is. But you can get a free trial through Philo, just through their website, and watch it.
Okay. Cool.
PHILO is what it is.
It's also rentable, so.
Yeah. I was gonna say I would be hesitant to watch something through, like to watch something through like AMC Plus because it's most likely gonna have ads because it's gonna be the TV commercial version.
I think AMC Plus actually doesn't have commercials if you're doing like VOD.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I've never actually signed up for it, but
yeah.
All right, so we got that out of the way. What is next?
Well, you watched some Marvel.
I did. I watched Daredevil. I liked Daredevil. It was good. It was honestly like I was a little apprehensive. Like I think the Netflix Daredevil was actually pretty strong for the first 2 seasons. The third season, I feel I remember being like a little bit weaker, but still like good.
Mm-hmm.
But like I wasn't entirely sure what to expect with this one, but like ended up really enjoying it.
It is so far the best D+ Marvel series or Marvel season, in my opinion. I haven't watched Agatha yet, but it is the
Did
best.
not like it that much.
What do you think is the best D plus series then?
Probably honestly either WandaVision or maybe Miss Marvel.
Ms. Marvel was really, I liked both of them. I would rank Miss Marvel. Honestly, I feel like WandaVision is mid tier. It's just held in high regard because it was the first. But I feel like in my opinion, one of my favorites was Falcon and Winter Soldier, though, which a lot of people did not like for some reason.
You know what? I actually really did like Falcon and Winter Soldier too.
Yeah. And so like I thought this was better than Falcon and Winter Soldier. I thought Falcon and Winter Soldier was the best up until now. But yeah, it is the best, if not one of the best D plus series. D plus Marvel series right now.
Yeah, I mean, like it is up there for like being one of the better ones for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think it being like a really slow burn with like Daredevil also, like it wasn't just 2 episodes and he was right back at it sort of thing.
Yeah,
like you got to kind of like see him actually like deal with what it meant to be Daredevil and what it meant to not be Daredevil.
Struggle with the idea of becoming Daredevil, or fight with the idea of like whether or not he should go back to being a vigilante. Because I mean, now that you'd watch it, and we know Drew's not going to watch it, we can actually I can talk more freely about it. The first episode opens, Drew, with Foggy being killed, which is one of Daredevil's best friend, and then it's a year time jump where he had not been Daredevil for a year since, and the year time jump opens on the what's it called, the sentencing of Bullseye, who killed Foggy.
Poindexter, that was not Bullseye.
It was Bullseye though.
No, it's Poindexter.
Poindexter's Bullseye.
No, he's not.
In this series, he is.
They never call him Bullseye.
But he is the equivalent of Bullseye.
No, like he is actually like he is another Daredevil villain. Like that, he's a legitimate character. Like his whole thing is he can use any weapon. He's not just like a distance guy like Bullseye.
According to the Marvel Wiki, Marvel Comics, Lester, and then Bullseye's incarnations is Benjamin Dex Poindexter. Like he is a version of Bullseye.
I have never seen him called Bullseye before.
I mean, he is. I think he even has like the target not on his forehead, like in fucking the movie, but like they show him like wearing the costume. He's wearing the Bullseye costume at the beginning of the series.
I mean, he's just wearing a mask at the beginning. He's not dressed like Bullseye, or at least not like the classic Bullseye.
Pretty sure it had the Bullseye on it though.
I don't think it did. Yeah, I mean, he was in the originals one too, right?
Yeah. He was Bullseye in the originals as well, in the Netflix series.
All right, he was in season 3. Yeah, Rich, but talk about what you were talking about.
I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, but like it opens up with Foggy dying, and yeah, so it shows him not being Daredevil for a year, and it loads up with Fisk pretty much announcing that he's running to be mayor of New York. And it all happens really by the end of the first episode, he's mayor, right?
If it's not the end of the first episode, it's the beginning of the second.
I think it's the end of the first episode, because the first episode ends with like your very first painting of Muse of what's his name? I can't of Kingpin. But yeah, it's just it was an interesting take. It was an interesting look, and like the whole everything about the series was like just really good.
Yeah, I like that. Like the series actually took place over like a pretty long gap too, because it's several months. Because so Fisk is his inauguration is New Year's Eve. Yeah, New Year's Eve, because like he's doing like the presentation on New Year's Eve in like Times Square. And then by episode 5, it's St. Patrick's Day. And I want to say by the end of the season, it's like early spring, like April or May.
Mm-hmm.
So like, they don't like condense it where like all this stuff happens very quickly. Like they kind of like, there are like jumps in time between episodes.
Yeah, there's a lot of time jumps. And it felt like there's at least a week to 2 weeks between most episodes, with the exception of maybe episode 2 and 3. Probably the least amount of time between them. But yeah, there's a decent, and then the second to last episode and last episode, definitely there's no time between them. But yeah, it takes place over the course of a lot of time, and it shows that like Kingpin's playing the long game.
It also goes to show you that we truly did end up in the worst timeline when the actual supervillain, better elected official than our president.
But that's the biggest problem I have with I live blue skied this a lot. Every time I was watching it, I was having comments on something here and there. And the one thing that I had commented was I never understood how people like Lex Luthor and Kingpin could win the president or mayor or shit like that. And then we live in a timeline where fucking Trump gets reelected into the presidency.
Yep.
And literally, a lot of what happens in this series really does mirror what's legitimately happening fucking right now in the world. It's like the writers wrote this for Trump and then released it themselves as well. It's weird. It's wild how Fisk and Trump are that similar to each other when it comes to these two things.
Yeah, except for
Fisk
all of the
actually eats healthy. That's the only exception.
Well, that and Fisk doesn't just do bad shit. That's his motivation. But he fixes that pothole in episode 2.
Yeah, yeah. It was a sinkhole mostly, more so than a pothole.
That's true. It was a sinkhole.
He gets somebody. He gets it being worked. He actually does mayoral things, although he has negative intentions implied, and it is all everything is to get what he wants so that his criminal empire can grow, so that he can build Fisk Tower in New York on a sovereign area, so that legally they can do crime there. That's what the whole series. That's what the whole first season's about. Is them being able to build Fisk Tower on a dock that is technically sovereign, so that he can do crime there. Legally import and export shit that should not be legally imported and exported.
Yeah, and I actually just went back and looked. So Fisk has been in the comics. He was mayor from 2015 till 2021, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So this storyline is pretty recent and actually predates all of the real world stuff.
Yeah.
The funny thing is in a similar fashion, in the comics, Fisk actually becomes mayor while Daredevil is gone too. So in this one, obviously Matt is just not Daredevil, but he's still in New York. In the comic, he was trapped somewhere and some weird time hijinks happened and he lost 8 months or something like that, or a year, and came back and just all over the place. Wilson Fisk, mayor of New York.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm trying not to sneeze into the microphone. But yeah, and I will say too, the middle of this season, the bank episode was probably the best episode of that season too, and it was just a standalone.
The bank episode was great. All the cameos in general. You get to see freaking Punisher's in it, and it's what's his name,
John Barenthal.
Yeah, John Barenthal with the Punisher. You have a cameo from Kamala's dad being the bank manager of the bank that he's trying to get a loan from to keep his law firm running. And that was great.
Yeah. And I did not expect the White Tiger reveal, for that one guy to have been the White Tiger.
Yeah. His daughter's gonna his niece,
yeah. She'll be the new White Tiger.
She's gonna be the new White Tiger. I'm interested to see what they keep doing with what they continue to do with this, and it was incredibly entertaining. I'm curious as to the way this series ended, where it's basically he needs an army to fight Fisk's army. Do you think they're gonna bring in Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones?
I mean, I think that would actually be cool if that's what they're doing. But at the same time, I could see it be more of it's a bunch of regular people.
Yeah. I mean, again, this still raises the question of where's fucking Spider-Man? This impacts him. All of this impacts him. What is he doing right now?
So this would be 2026, I think, is what I saw. I tried to figure out what the timeline would be. So She-Hulk happens in 2025. and he is still Daredevil. He has not stopped being Daredevil at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be She-Hulk happened prior to Foggy being killed. So if this is like a year and a half later, this show would have to be like 26, 27. So, and I want to say No Way Home was within the same year as Far From Home, right?
Probably. Like in MCU time. I mean, I don't know when it comes.
In MCU, because like Far From Home ended with him coming home and the reveal that that Spider-Man was Peter Parker, and No Way Home is literally like the fallout of that. So that's all like in the same year. So like that would have been 2025. So he's 2 years into college with no identity right now.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not even being Spider-Man at the moment.
It's not that he has no identity. It's just that people don't know who he is.
I mean, that's fair. But also, his family is dead, so he has nowhere to live.
He had an apartment at the end of No Way Home.
Did he?
Yeah. He was in an apartment finishing up he was getting his GED. He was in an apartment getting his GED.
Oh, that's right.
When something happened.
The only thing I remember from the end of No Way Home is when he goes into like the coffee shop and MJ and Ned are like both there.
So there's that, and then like it ends like pre-credit roll. It ends with him being in an apartment. He has his book to get his GED, and like I guess he hears something on the police radio, and he actually goes to, and so a lot of people were thinking he goes to Rockefeller Center, which is where the ending of fucking Hawkeye was. And so everyone thought that there was going to potentially be like a Spider-Man cameo because those two came out around the same time. Hawkeye ended after Spider-Man had released. So everyone thought like him going to Rockefeller Center was like going to be him helping Hawkeye. But no, they didn't do that.
Okay. I don't remember. I don't super remember that. Like it sounds familiar, but I watched No Way Home the one time in the theaters and haven't seen it since.
Mm-hmm.
And that was that was 2020, I think, right? Or 2021?
No, it was probably 21. I don't think it was 2020. You wouldn't have seen it in theaters if it was 2020.
Oh, that's true. 2021.
Probably.
No, like I just looked it up. It was 2021.
Yeah. But yeah, so like it just raises a question of where like we know at least one other New York-based hero. Where is he? Like we didn't get enough time of this war going on. So how much like the war is going to happen? Is Spider-Man going to be involved? Are we going to see a Spider-Man cameo? Like it directly affects him. Currently he's just though. Yeah, they're not going to. They're not going to pay Tom Holland his day rate for like a couple of scenes or whatever. So, but like
they're not going to pay Sony for it either.
Yeah, which like is just like that. That's where this gets like annoying because it's like again we all know that Kingpin and Spider-Man are also villains with like Kingpin is Spider-Man's villain as well as Daredevil's villain. Like any small-time New York-based hero, Kingpin is a villain of. But we're not gonna see it.
But, I mean,
we should.
This is how the comics do it too, though. Like unless it's a big crossover thing, like all the time that Fisk was like mayor, it was primarily in Daredevil. Like it absolutely like there were things that came up in Spider-Man. But they were always completely separate from the Daredevil comics too. Mm-hmm. Like they were just two separate issues going on. They didn't really cross over or anything. And those two characters are friends in the comics.
It's a little bit easier and a little less frustrating when you're talking about something that releases like monthly for like 6 different titles or whatever. Like you're getting a Daredevil, a Spider-Man, an X-Men, to this or that or whatever, and blah 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 for like however many titles monthly. And that's a little less frustrating to where like there's not that. Like there might be the one-offs, but when you're doing a combined TV movie universe where you only get a Spider-Man movie every 3 or 4 years, like you're not going to acknowledge that Spider-Man is there.
Hey, they acknowledged him in that the first episode that Fisk was mayor in. He says people jumping around dressed like spiders and guys with skulls on their chest and people running around with devil horns.
Yeah.
So he's been acknowledged.
He's been acknowledged, but like now we should just like you need to just see him in like one episode. Come on, Sony, just give up. Sony, give up, Sony, just give up.
It's the only thing that makes some money.
After fucking Madam Web, just fucking give up. You don't have Venom anymore. Venom's over. Just give up.
They still have the character rights, though.
I mean, but the Venom series is over.
For now, until they reboot it with somebody else.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen keep using Spider-Man so that they don't lose those rights.
I haven't seen Venom 3, but I just know Venom dies in Venom 3.
Wow.
The movie's like 3 years old, and I thought you'd seen it already.
No, it came out in like October.
Huh? Maybe.
Yeah, no, that movie's not that old. I kind of assumed he died because it's called The Last Dance. Honestly, I assume both of them died.
Okay. All right, yeah, so it was only last year. October last year. It's not as old as I thought it was. I thought it was older. Look, just I haven't watched any of them. I was watching something and like they were like talking about the end sequence of what happens to Venom, and I was just like, well, this is a spoiler. Whatever, who cares? I'll watch it eventually.
Honestly, the first Venom was actually fun. The second one, not so much. I just haven't heard much about the third one.
Yeah. And also, like, technically, kind of, Venom isn't dead because Venom's in our MCU universe now because a part of the symbiote still stayed when Eddie and Venom went back to their universe.
Oh, is that confirmed?
I mean, that was at the end. I think we went over this, like, recently. It was the end scene for Far From Home.
I don't remember anything being left behind.
Though. It was the end credit scene of No Way Home. Was Eddie at a bar drinking, watching the TV, and then disappearing. And then there was a bit of the symbiote that was like left up on the table.
Hang on, let me I still have the thing open for the movie. Yeah, Strange reluctantly casts a spell. Everyone returns to their respective universes, including Eddie Brock, who unknowingly leaves a piece of the Venom symbiote. Mm-hmm. Which is just going to be like Carnage in the MCU. That's how they put Carnage in the MCU.
Well, we already have Brand New Day, I think, is the next Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
And it's likely I feel like we're going to get a black suit Spider-Man in that. Or by the end of it.
That's not what Brand New Day is, though.
I think by the end we're going to have a black suit Spider-Man, and then we'll probably get some sort of Venom thing after that.
Maybe. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. As long as they do it better than the Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
But enough about that. How was Thunderbolts?
Oh, you mean New Avengers?
No, I'm going to keep calling it Thunderbolts. Fuck them.
I can't believe... So, we all know it's now called New Avengers. Like, they're changing billboards. They're changing marquees at movie theaters. Like, it is now called New Avengers. The whole theme of the fucking movie is the Avengers are not coming. The Avengers are no longer around. It's the whole theme of the fucking movie is they're not around anymore. And then they fucking do this because they end up becoming the New Avengers at the end of the fucking movie. Like,
it's a real big fuck you to people that couldn't go see it the first weekend too.
I cannot believe they did. Like, I cannot believe they built that into their marketing. Like, had I not seen that this weekend, I would have been pissed.
Yeah, because like the whole thing is like if you go to see that movie expecting it, you're like, oh,
yeah. But now, like, it's like it was like that was really cool, and it's like it doesn't come into play till everything's resolved. It's not like it's midway through the movie. It's like when everything's resolved is when the New Avengers stuff gets brought up.
Yeah. So I mean, for what it's worth, because they did that, I'm just like, okay, cool. Well, now I don't care, and I did look it up, and like I saw like what happened, like at the end, like. What's her face just kind of says like they're the New Avengers.
Yeah, she just says it. And like she like so like it's her being manipulative the whole movie. And it's just I can't believe they did it. The movie's fantastic in my opinion. I did a whole write up on my Discord about it. On my spoilers page of it. I think the movie's fantastic. I had a lot of fun watching it. I thought like the character interactions from everyone were great. The relationship between Yelena and Red Guardian was amazing. How some of the characters get roped into things is just like, all right, sure, I guess. There were a few scenes. It's only 2 hours long, but it did suffer from pacing, mostly in the first act. What leading up to, and then like partway through the second act. But, like, leading up to, like, them all meeting, the pacing felt a little off. It's a very much a Yelena-centric movie. It is a lot about her. It is cool. It's a lot about her. But there's 5 heroes, right? We got Bucky, Yelena, Ghost, Walker, Red Guardian, Sentry, and Taskmaster. So
Sounds
like it starts off basically like focused on Yelena and her still coping with the loss of Nat, of Black Widow. And just not feeling great about life. She's just working for Julia for DeFonte, whatever her name is, doing like assassin-y shit, and she's not feeling satisfied. And the whole movie is like the whole first act is like it feels very rushed, but also poorly paced, even with it being rushed. Like I don't want to get too far into it because like I don't want to spoil too much for you, Cobb, if you do decide you want to watch it sometime soon, before it comes out on VOD. But like, yeah, the movie is heavy. Like it tackles mental health. It tackles feelings of inadequacy and feeling of loneliness and depression.
Like the villain is also the Sentry, right?
The villain is the Sentry / the Void. Like the villain, like yeah, it's what the different and like him becoming the Void and like how they tackle that and why the Void is within him and stuff like that. And it's just
that is that character. Like that character's like struggle with mental health is like the thing about them.
So like I mean I'll get into it a little bit. He doesn't become the villain or the Void until like the last half hour.
Yeah, I mean that's so generally like in the comics that is kind of how the Sentry has operated before.
Yeah, like I didn't want to like spoil too much of it or go too far into it, but like most of the movie is really the Thunderbolts trying to basically figure out how to get back at Julia Louis-Dreyfus for what she did to them.
I mean, the whole thing with like the villain not being the villain to the end is also kind of like what they did with Captain America too.
Yeah. And so like they had one villain, and then like they learn about like what she then does to Sentry, and then like it takes a turn. And like the movie itself, there's some action sequences, but it is very much a movie about mental health, and like to the point where when they resolved the Void, I was in tears. I was like, this fucking hits, man. This hits. And then they do the whole stuff with the New Avengers things. There's one of the cutscenes is really, not cutscenes, mid-credit scenes is just really stupid. And it's the whole movie, Red Guardian's like trying to be like, hey, we need sponsorships and shit. And then you know the Wheaties box that you saw one of the things being taped over?
Yeah.
It's him trying to sell somebody on a Wheaties box with him trying to be like, hey, look, it's me. It's me. I'm on here. It was really stupid. The other one, I'm not going to get too far into, because it does like, unless you've read it already, Colin.
No, I saw it. It's a tie-in to Fantastic Four.
Which raises the question, did they just fucking spoil Fantastic Four?
So I have a feeling Fantastic Four is going to end differently. Kind of the way, like, remember how Captain Marvel ended before... I want to say Captain Marvel ended before Endgame? Or did Captain Marvel come out before...
Captain Marvel came out between the two.
Between the two.
And so the end credit scene of Infinity War was Fury getting the beeper to page Carol Danvers.
Right, and then the end of Captain Marvel was just like her showing up and them not knowing like what was going on, and you don't really get like the full story of that until Endgame.
But with this, like the ship that you see is the exact ship that you see in the movie or in the trailers. So either, and my thought has been this whole time that the Fantastic Four movie takes place in a different universe, and then they find their way to ours. And I think that all but confirmed it right there, basically.
Yeah, I think that, so based on what the next Avengers movies are, I have a feeling that they're going to use this as like the incursion things that they did in the comics, where like the Fantastic Four saves their world from Galactus, and then somewhere off screen for us, like between that movie and where they pop up in this after credit scene, is where like something goes wrong and they escape into the multiverse.
Well, I mean, Fantastic Four is in the next movie, so
Fantastic Four it comes out over the summer. But I don't think they're going to show us that part of it in Fantastic Four.
It'll be the credit scene, in my opinion. I think.
It could be.
The other thing that it could be, the only other thing it could be right now, is Doom. Robert Downey Jr. as Doom is in that.
Oh yeah, possible.
That's the only other thing it could be, in my opinion. Is Doom is coming to this universe, but we know that all of the Fantastic Four cast is in the next movie or in the first one, whatever it is. So
Doomsday.
In Doomsday. So I mean, we know. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah. I'm assuming Doomsday is going to be where it's the Avengers trying to stop the incursions and stop Doom from like using them to his benefit, and then Secret Wars is going to be Doom 1 and we're on like his like the world that he creates.
Yeah, we'll see. Like, that's very close to comics, and it's very possible that that's the route they're going to go.
They're not going with the original Secret Wars, where it was like the Beyonder brings a bunch of like heroes and villains to like fight for his entertainment.
Yeah.
And them introducing Doom and the Fantastic Four and everything like to lead into this. It just it lines up too well.
Yeah.
Now, out of curiosity, do you know like the history of the Sentry?
No, I did a little bit of Googling on the Sentry, because like I didn't know much about him, and so like when they turned into the Void, that was something I did not know about. And so like I needed to do some research, because like at the end of the movie, during the post-credits scene, he's like they don't have the full team because Sentry is not in Sentry mode. He's like, but if you have Sentry, you also have the other guy, and I don't want that. And to me, I'm happy that they fucking handicapped Marvel Superman, because otherwise he would make things boring, because Superman is always terrible. Like,
so when they introduced the Sentry in the early 2000s, they retconned him as he had been there from the beginning. Mm-hmm. So he had been the guy helping take down all the big bads for like ever. Like he was there with the original Avengers and shit like that.
Yeah.
But when he started to like lose whatever was keeping him together and turn into the Void, he used his powers to erase everyone's memory of him and just reverted to like Bob. And so no one remembered that the Sentry existed or that there was this other like super powerful hero floating around until like they introduced him. And the Void is actually, I'm pretty sure the Void is who killed Thor during when Norman Osborn was in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was Hammer at the time. Mm-hmm. But the Sentry is also the guy that fought the Hulk in World War Hulk. Like, he was the only one that they could get that could actually go toe-to-toe with him. Because that was when the Hulk was like, peak, I'm going to kill all of you for what you did to me. Because he blamed all of, he blamed the Illuminati, like Professor X and Stark and all them for killing, like, the person that he'd fallen in love with. And his unborn child. Yeah. That was a good story. It's a shame they didn't, like, really, like, they kind of did Planet Hulk, but they didn't really do it with Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And now we'll never get that because we just have Smart Hulk.
Well, I mean, it's possible that we get, like, a Smart Hulk or we get Banner to turn into, like, Hulk. I'm sure at some point or another, but, I mean, we get his son because his son is in...
I mean, there was that 30-second cameo at the end of She-Hulk that they may never go back to.
Yeah. But I like a few character gripes. They made Walker an idiot. He is basically the Thor of the group.
It's like he was like a little dumb in Falcon and Winter Soldier, but like he wasn't an idiot.
He wasn't dumb. Like he was just emotionally unregulated, is what it was. Like he lets his emotions shine, and that's why like he even though he has the Super Soldier Serum in him getting Super Soldier Serum wasn't the best, because that's like you need to have like good and high intentions and whatnot, and like he can't control his anger. And like you get a bit of like some between story about him, like what happened between Falcon Winter Soldier and now. But like outside of that, you don't really get too much character backstory for any of the other characters. And I was like a little let down, but like I'm glad that we didn't get too much more, because if we did, the movie would have been longer. but it was already paced kind of poorly.
Did they like talk about like Bucky being like a congressman or whatever?
Yeah, he starts the movie being a congressman.
Okay, I was just curious, like if that's what like if that was a thing in this movie, or if this was supposed to be before Captain America.
No, this takes place like immediately after Captain America, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this takes place not too long after Captain America. Because I think I think they reference Red Hulk. Yeah, they reference the attack in Washington, from Red Hulk in the movie. Yeah, so this happens not too long after. And because it's building that idea of like, oh, there's no superhero faction to help us. The heroes are all gone, kind of shit. Which is like, that's false. Like, they're all dealing with everything else that's going on in the world. Doctor Strange is saving the multiverse. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, there was one character they did really dirty, and I'm really mad about it.
Which character was that?
Taskmaster.
I feel like they've kind of done them dirty from the beginning.
I can't. I want to talk about what they did to her in this, which was worse than what they did to her in the Black Widow movie. It makes me so mad because she is a cool character. Like, in my opinion, I like Taskmaster. I think they handicapped her big time by turning her into an android in Black Widow. But like, they freed her and she became her own person. And I thought, like, okay, she would be a cool recurring character, recurring villain kind of thing. Like, imagine her showing up in some of like the TV series. But then what they do to her in this is just like, well, fuck you. That's annoying. That's annoying. That's really all I can say without fully spoiling.
Understandable.
And then it was a really good movie. It was really good, very heavy movie. Like, you have to be in a mind. You have to, like, going into this, especially if you have mental health issues and deal with depression, anxiety, feelings of inadequacy, all that other shit. Even like they even go over like, because Bob in this is like he was a heroin user, he was a substance abuser. Like, he deals with that as well. Like, all that stuff. That's stuff that gets tackled in this movie. So just like, not really trigger warning, but also like, this is all tackled in this superhero movie, and it's wild. It was really good, and I had a blast. I thought it was amazing.
Nice. Yeah, I'm at this point, I'm just gonna wait for it to be on streaming, because why not?
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the core themes of the movie was spoiled by the maker of the movie. So
exactly, like there's really no rush in seeing it.
Yeah, and like you already know,
go to Disney Plus.
Because like knowing Sentry. From the comics, you really know what's going on with Sentry. You know the villain. You know how Sentry becomes the villain.
Yeah.
Knowing now that the movie is called New Avengers, you kind of can figure out what's going on with the movie. Like, it's now just you're going to if you were to see the movie now, it's just for the entertainment value mostly, and not for like the picking up on the story moving forward. And it'll most likely be on D+ before Fantastic Four comes out.
Yeah, I assume that too.
Is Captain America on D+ yet?
Honestly, I don't know.
I don't think it is, actually. And Captain America is only 2 months old.
Let's see, Captain America. Wow, that is only like 2 months old. No, it's up for rent though.
Yeah. So worst case scenario, just rent it real quick before Fantastic Four.
But like, there's a good chance I'll just wait to watch Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Too. Like, I have no rush to watch any of these movies. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, we talked about it. Like, they're just, like, sometimes they're entertaining, but more often than not, like, they're just too long, and most of what they do is just trying to set up the next movie.
But, you don't know, 3 days after Fantastic Four comes out, they could change the title of the movie to Doctor Doom, and it changes your entire outlook of everything.
I mean, they might do that. And you know what? Like, good for them, I guess. But, like, look, I still have not seen The Marvels, Guardians 3... There's another one I haven't seen. Like, I don't care anymore. And like, it's a shame, but like, the movies they stopped being entertaining in a lot of ways. And like, I thought Captain America was actually pretty good. And like, I do think Thunderbolts looks like it should be entertaining. It was
incredibly entertaining. Like, a lot of people are saying that Thunderbolts is like bringing back the good of the MCU. Or something like that. Like, I don't really know. I can't remember how they said it, but like, a lot of people are talking about how Thunderbolts is like returning MCU to what it used to be, and it's a really good movie. I mean, look, you have a character like Red Guardian. He's going to be very comedic pretty much at all times. His comedy was a little much sometimes, but he was serious when he needed to be.
Yeah, and like it's definitely what like for a long time now, like the Marvel movies have just kind of degraded into lowest common denominator quips and kind of mediocre action that's just too CGI heavy, and like there's no substance to them. Like there's nothing to like make you be like, yeah, I care about these characters.
Mm-hmm.
But like Captain America, like for like I think the last like half an hour of that movie's not very good. Like the everything with Ross at the end, like that could have been done so much better. But like the rest of the movie, I thought was actually pretty interesting. Like with the whole like sleeper agent thing, like the unwitting sleeper agent stuff.
Yeah.
Like I think if they would have just left that movie as like a political thriller, I think it could have like actually done way better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anything else about Thunderbolts that you want to say?
No, I've basically said it all. If you guys want to know my full-on feelings of it, if you come to my Discord, you'll see my spoilers post about it.
Cool. Well, Drew, you mentioned that you were playing MLB the Show a bunch. How is, I assume, this year's version?
Yeah, I picked up 25. In my continuing, what sports season is it? Oh, baseball season. Let's get the baseball game now. It's been fun. I've been playing the Diamond Dynasty mode, which is their like card game. You get cards for players and you put them at the position, and then you play against other people's teams. Or I really have just been playing single player because there's a shitload of different things you can do just single player to like unlock more packs of cards. Or they have what they call programs, which will be like there might be some like little single game missions like get 2 hits or even just hit a home run or whatever, and you complete a bunch of different challenges and you unlock a special card that the only way you can get that card is by completing the program. And then there's like every different MLB team has a collection and of all the cards for their current players. If you collect all the cards, you unlock like a special team legend player. Like the Phillies is Ryan Howard if you get all 40 Phillies player cards.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so it's interesting. Like they have players going like way back, and you know the last few years they've been adding a lot of Negro League players as the MLB has incorporated the Negro Leagues into like the official major league history. So that's been cool. And there's a mode in the show called, I'm now forgetting what it is, but with very specific storylines talking about and like showing clips of interviews from players who played with some of these guys, or just stuff from the Negro Leagues Hall of Fame for different individual players that you play through, a little storyline about like their career to unlock their card, and it's cool.
Now, are you playing on like Xbox?
No, I'm on the PlayStation.
No, I figured,
but
I just think it's funny. Like Sony's like, okay, we'll put this game out because we have to, and Xbox is just like, here, you can play Gears of War now on your console if you'd like.
Yeah, right. But yeah, it also has, and I haven't tried yet, but like my brother and one other guy that we play NHL with get the show, and in that Diamond Dynasty mode, you can do co-op where 2 or 3 of you each bring in some of your cards and make up a team, and then like alternate who's at bat and whatnot and who's pitching versus another group of 2 or 3 if you're playing 2s or 3s.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and like the cards gain experience, so they start at certain level of ratings and then they can go up 5 more levels, which increases every attribute by 1 point each level, something like that. I think it's 5. It might be 6. I forget, but yeah.
What is playing a baseball game like in 2025?
I
haven't played one since like Ken Griffey Jr. on like the N64.
Honestly, you can play it pretty similarly to how like the old baseball games worked. Like I guess once it got to like the early 2000s, where instead of just like pushing A to pitch or X or whatever, like you'll have your selection of pitches, and the default in the show 25, and I think it has been for a couple of years, is now there's like you'll pick what pitch, you'll aim it where you want in the strike zone or out of the strike zone. And then now it'll bring up a little a circle with a line drawn in it differently for each pitch. So like a fastball, you pull down on the right stick, then up, and then back down to like aim it to the specific spot. Curveball, you'll do like down and then half circle to the top.
So almost like doing like fighting game combos?
Yeah, kind of like different motions.
Or like fighting game special moves, I should say.
Yeah, sort of. But, you know, on the one analog stick. And
yeah,
it's interesting. It took me a little while to get used to that. But also, I was talking to my brother. He just plays on where you pick your pitch, you aim it, and then it brings up a meter. You stop it once to get, like, the power. So if you want that pitch to go as hard as it can or not. And then another one to you stop it again to hit the, like, accuracy. Kind of like old golf games. You know, like the 3-button.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do either that way, and then batting, it's either you can have just a button press or right analog stick, pull back, and then push forward to swing.
What about like fielding? Like, is that just kind of like automated?
No. I mean, you move, you control. It'll automatically pick the player that's going to be closest to it. It will start moving the player towards the ball. Depending on their fielding ratings, they'll have a better reactions compared to other players. So a higher rating, they'll usually get a better jump on the ball, and then you just take over kind of once it's in view, really.
What about like playing to like a base? Like, do you actually have to aim to like what base you want to throw to, or is it just kind of like
you push whichever face button? So
okay, that's kind of cool.
The right face button goes to first base, top face button goes to second, left to third, down to home.
Okay. Yeah,
and
like
then that also has like a meter.
Sorry, guys.
You want to get it. That also has a meter. You want to get it in the green, or sometimes, if you're trying to like make a throw out at home from the outfield, there might be a blue like perfect throw spot. But yeah, it's not that hard to play. It's honestly, I hadn't played an MLB game in a few years and felt pretty simple getting back into it. Now just getting really good at the timing on hitting pitches.
Yeah, that seems like it could be hard.
Yeah, I definitely have games where it's like, oh yeah, I'm on it in this game, and it's like, bam, perfect. But
is it just like when you're hitting? It's just like the kind of the like shooting in hockey? It's just like pull back, like push forward.
Kind of. You could, or like I said, I started using that, but then switched to just one button press. So like you'll aim where you think the pitch is going to be with the left stick, and you want to try to get that as centered on the ball as you can when you hit swing. And then you also want to time your swing to when the ball's in the, like right over the plate, basically.
Oh, cool. So there's a little more to it than just like the timing.
Yeah, and that gets you if you center the ball in the bat and get the perfect timing, that gets you the best possible hit. Now, that doesn't always mean it's going to go for a home run or even a hit. You get plenty of perfect line drives directly at people that get caught, or while you were like dead center with your bat, you were slightly on top of the ball. So yeah, you hit that ground ball real fucking hard and it just went directly to the shortstop who throws you out or whatever.
Yeah, which like is frankly is realistic for like how the ball actually moves. Like
like I fucking crushed that ground ball 112 miles an hour directly at the shortstop. Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect double play ball because I hit it so fast it doesn't matter how fast I am. They're just making that double play easy.
Yeah, they don't even have to try.
But yeah, it's I've had a lot of fun, and it's cool seeing just how random some of these dudes are, and it's like. And they are constantly updating things and adding in, like, weekly, they add in a new, okay, this player's been really good for this last week. Here's, like, this super version of them that you can unlock and have this, like, really good version of whatever player that's, like, 20 rating higher than what they normally would be. But they fucking killed it last week, so here you go. Get cool version of Reese Hoskins or whatever.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then you have that guy along with Babe Ruth or whatever on your team,
Which is also just weird.
Yeah, it's like, here's Babe Ruth, this female Negro Leagues player who I didn't even know there were any women that played in the Negro Leagues, which that was a cool thing to learn. And then like Kyle Schwarber and whatever. It's so weird and random but cool.
Yeah, like you're almost playing like the legacy teams or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. And there's like lots of different jerseys in there. They have a lot of the old throwback jerseys for MLB teams, Negro League jerseys, minor league team jerseys. It's neat. And then you can also make your own too. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that I would ever play that, but like it's cool that they have kind of added so much to like baseball games.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess Rich, do you want to talk about South of Midnight?
Yeah, South of Midnight. It was apparently the week of mental health for me, because like that too is incredibly heavy game that is all about fucking mental health, and it's wild. Honestly, in my opinion, and it's very divisive right now apparently, but in my opinion, that's a contender for Game of the Year this year. I think like with the exception of like the combat did get a little repetitive, I would have liked maybe a little bit more difficulty or strategy to it.
One person actually on a podcast was talking that like they had the combat got so boring for them that they ended up just putting on easy so that they could just get back to the rest of the game and not do the combat.
I can understand that. Like the boss fights were really fun, but outside of that, just the generic combat, like the game was not built around combat, and like
that's basically what they were saying in that, which kind of bummed me out because like I haven't really gotten a chance to go back to it, and like I thought the combat had promise, but like hearing that like it's just kind of the same thing over and over again, it's kind of a bummer.
Well, yeah, so it's like I don't know how like what the furthest you got when it came to the Haints that you fought were, or what bosses you fought. Did you fight Two-Toed Tommy?
No, I only played it the one time, so I'm only like 2 hours in or so.
Yeah, so I mean, Two-Toed Tommy is the first boss you fight. So.
I'm probably close to him then, because like I spent a lot of time just kind of wandering around and looking at stuff.
Are you on the pig farm?
I think I might be. Yeah, actually.
Then you're gonna fight Two-Toed Tommy soon. Did you do the sequence at the church? You had to get to a church and ring a church bell.
Actually, I think I'm on my way to the church.
Okay, and there's a giant alligator.
I have not seen the alligator yet.
You've seen the alligator. If you're on your way to the church, you've seen the alligator.
Okay. I also played it like 3 weeks ago because then I started playing Expedition 33, and that kind of took over when I play games.
So like the boss fights are cool. They have like they're fairly repetitive. It's dodge abilities, do a certain thing to knock them down, and then fight them. And that's what like pretty much every boss fight was. Like, yeah, but like what's really cool about the game outside of the combat, like again, the art and animation. The animation is very it's stop motion-esque animation. The character design, it's all like claymation type character design. Like all the characters look, even like the enemies, the even like animals and shit like that. Every character you run into are all claymation, and it looks really good.
I do like the visuals of this game.
Yeah, the story is absolutely stellar. Like I said, it's like I don't remember if I fully paid attention to what you were saying when you were talking about it, but like the main thing you're fighting in the game is stigma. Like literally, that's stigma, and it's like you're helping people get past their traumas. Stigma when people have traumatic events, like it's mental health. Like the whole game is dealing with fucking mental health. And it's not just a fun game where you're fighting spirits and jumping into dreams and shit. No, it's like you're straight up fighting mental health.
Because like you're also like you're digging into like your family's past and like unraveling all of that like generational trauma too. You're
not digging into your family's past. You actually barely dig into your family's past. You dig into it a little bit at one point, but like each like set of levels. So you dealt with the tree guy at least, and you learned like why this tree looks like a human. Because you at least met the if you are going on your way to the church, then you would have done the tree stuff.
That sounds familiar.
And so you learn about how, like, I can't remember his name, but he was basically like, who was the dumb one of Mice and Men? Lenny?
Not Lenny? or was it Lenny?
But whatever it is, it's like he's a dim one. He's not very smart. He's not all there. So like he gets mocked and made fun of, and his older brother is like
it was Lenny. Lenny Small is the mentally disabled man.
His older brother is like he's adept at making music. He's really good. He can like play a bunch of different instruments. People love him, but because of his younger brother, like there's just all this like talk about them, and he gets all of the spotlight or all the attention from his mom or something like that, and like he gets attacked and made fun of, and like which causes the older brother to like have troubles in his life to where he ends up locking his brother away like in a tree, and the tree then absorbs his essence and becomes the tree man that you help. And it's just like, fuck, that's heavy. Then the next sequence, you learn about Two-Toed Tommy, the alligator, and like you learn about Jolene and their relationship together. And like everyone happens to have a problem. You learn about Bunny, your grandmother, and your father, and another family member that you have not met yet.
Okay, so they don't really like that doesn't actually like arc over the whole game, because the way that like the game opens up, it kind of felt like that was going to be like a reoccurring thing throughout it.
No, it is. It's like so. It's basically every other chapter is you helping fight the stigma of like basically somebody who has problems or who had some sort of traumatic event.
No, I meant your family, like the reoccurring stuff with your family.
Your family comes, like you're chasing after your mama the whole time. You're trying to find your mama the whole time. Bunny comes you go back and meet Bunny, or you go to like, it's, at one point you go to Bunny's like spring cottage basically, or summer cottage. And you do stuff around there, and you run into Bunny and you deal with her, but then you get an idea from doing that where you can find your mom. And that in turn, you run into and meet somebody else who has connection with your family, but like it's not about your family it's about helping him.
Okay.
And then like you meet this one mythical creature called Hugging Molly, which like if you read all of the collectibles and all of the things, you start to understand like, oh, this is what's going on, and it kind of blows my mind that like I wish she. Like, the character reacted in a negative way when meeting Hugging Molly, and I'm like, but you're wrong. Like, we read these. We read all these. I know what we just read, and you're wrong the way you're thinking. Hugging Molly, you're wrong thinking this way. And then, like, it does take a strange turn after the Hugging Molly stuff, and, like, at that point, you're supposed to be going after, you're supposed to be going after Bunny. I'm sure when you met Bunny, you got weird vibes from her. You know that she's not the greatest of people.
Well, yeah, and like on top of that, like her mansion is like where you first kind of start using your powers.
Yeah, and it's covered in stigma.
Yeah, and like there was a whole bunch of stuff like about your dad there too.
Yeah,
which is why I thought like that was going to be one of those things where like as you progress, you were going to like get more and more about your family's history while also learning about other stuff.
You learn a little bit about your family's history. You do. You learn a little bit about your family's history, but like it's about it's your whole tale is trying to find your mom. But like after the Hugging Molly sequences, like it kind of takes a turn and you go away from like, oh, you have to deal with Bunny, but it's like, oh, but if you do this, this, and this, then you'll find your mom. It's like these all kind of came out of nowhere, so it was like it didn't feel too attached, but it also felt like it was weird that they went this route. But that's because the whole like this is where your mom went. And that's where you're going, because the whole goal of the game is to find your mom. The final chapter felt a little anticlimactic, but like at the same time, it was just the resolution chapter. It was probably the shortest chapter in the game too. The final boss like was cool, but unfortunately, the final boss was just fight a bunch of monsters, fight a bunch of Haints, and then quick phase change, and then fight a bunch of Haints, quick phase change, and it was just 4 times. And that was really it. One theme that does keep recurring, and like after like it's the bottle, and you fight you get the 4 things, and then you have to run from the fog. and that's like getting into each of the big bosses. It gave me like big vibes of like the Xbox 360 Prince of Persia game, which like that was, to me, that was a great game. I thought it was fantastic. Not like the Sands of Times ones. It was the reboot after the Sands of Time games, where like you had the girl who was helping you, like she would bring you back to life and stuff like that. But yeah, I thought it was great. The music, like whenever you're going into like a boss fight and the music is singing about the boss, and it was just like all the music in general of this game was fantastic. There were some scenes where like you're just exploring and traveling and the music's playing. I'm like, I feel like I'm in a Disney montage right now, which is fantastic. Like
it does kind of have like a Disney feel, doesn't it?
Yeah, some of them like
literally 360, like you said.
Yeah, like literally one scene, like it made me think of Brave. Remember in Brave when she's traveling with her mom back to wherever they're either back to town or trying to find the witch, and they're traveling together, and there's that song playing in the background. Like there's a scene where I'm just traveling around, and I'm like, I feel like I'm in Brave now. I just feel like I'm part of Brave, and like how they keep it with like the jazzy southern funky music from like New Orleans era or New Orleans like type of jazz music with all of that stuff. It's just like it feels really good, and I'm like, I want to learn more about Southern folklore now. I want to read more about Hug and Molly. I want to read more about Two-Toe Tom. I want to read more about like the Haints and other thing, like if Haints are real, which I think they like are real folklore. Not are they real, are they real folklore? And I think like some other things like that. Like I want to find out like what is legit and what is real, and I want to learn more about it, because it's just like it was like it's something you don't see often. You don't see Deep South folklore anymore. You don't see Deep South like lore and legend and tales and things like that. Generally, if it's something Deep South, it's like making fun of their accents and hillbillies and shit.
Yeah, and like we talked about a little bit when I talked about the game a couple weeks ago, like this is just it's a very different sort of thing to see in a game, because even just like American history and stuff like that as like the basis for a game, what like it's so often like European based stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, it was, I think the narrative and everything else, like it at least deserves like narrative of the year, music of the year, like maybe gameplay not as much, but like it deserves to at least be nominated for this shit. Like this team deserves a lot of recognition for what this game was. I thought it was really good. It was on at this point right now. Of the two new games that I played so far this year, the two 2025 games, this is better than Monster Hunter.
Wow.
But I mean, also, this had an ending.
That's fair.
Yeah. Monster Hunter, no, like legitimately, the Monster Hunter did the same thing they did with the Rise. There's no ending. There's like the story did not end. It did, but it didn't, because like the low rank story ended, and then they really didn't give us a high rank story. They were just like, all right, no, go do your thing. And it was just, it's weird. And the end game loop was just not as great, which is exactly what they did in Rise. Bullshit. But yeah, this one, I like this. I love Monster Hunter. I love this game. I think this game deserves Game of the Year. I don't think Monster Hunter deserves Game of the Year.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I mean, if I get to play Expedition 33 at some point this year, we'll see. But like, I got so many fucking games on the backlog right now. Plus, I'm planning on playing Doom. So like, maybe that'll change. Maybe that won't. Probably won't. At least not with Doom. But maybe if I can never get around to doing Expedition 33, maybe my thoughts will change. My feelings will change on it.
You'll probably get to that in 2026, though.
No, I have a feeling like the backlog games are going to die down because we reached fucking 60 subs. So like, it's going to be hard to reach 70 subs in a 1 month period, or over the course of 30 days, basically. It's going to be hard to reach 70 subs to get to the next tier. So like, but also I have my my anniversary next month. So like, it's a little bit of a, like, I'm planning on doing Dino Crisis 2. I might stream it starting on Saturday, because I won't have a lot of time to stream on Sunday, because I want to get that started and beat before Doom comes out, because then after that it's like, all right, Schedule 1, Link to the Past, and Resident Evil 2, both scenarios classic versions. So it's, I've got some backlog, but I should be able to get to all or most of them in a timely fashion, including Expedition 33.
Nice.
Just like Expedition 33 will probably be by the end of the year. Probably like August, September, something like that.
It's good. I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, it looks stellar.
Well, I think that will probably do it for this week.
Yeah, that's about a show.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, if you would like to find some more of our content, you can head over to www.one-quest.com. You can also help us out by supporting us at patreon.com/onequest. If you can't support us there with your dollars, though, go to your favorite podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, rate us, review us, subscribe to us. All of it helps. We are on social media, facebook.com/onequestonline or at @1_quest on Instagram and Twitter, and OneQuest on Blue Sky. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/onequestvideo, and you can always send us an email to social@one-quest.com. Rich, what is your streaming looking like?
Twitch.tv/B_1 for video game streaming Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays. I'm planning on potentially starting Dino Crisis 2 over the next few days, and then, of course, we got the Sea of Thieves, and the occasional Monster Hunter at the moment, and maybe Doom Dark Ages, plus, a bunch of other stuff, and my stream anniversary is coming up in June. I actually have a board game day planned on the day I would normally be doing my stream anniversary, or the weekend I would normally do my stream anniversary. So we're pushing it back a week to the starting like the 13th, 14th, probably the 14th, that Saturday, and it's going to be a Pokemon randomizer type of streamathon thingy like we did last year, but just
72 hours straight,
instead
right?
of moons. No, but it's I have to capture new Pokemon, similar to. You guys have to donate to make me capture Pokemon, similar to you guys donating to make me have to get all the Power Moons in Super Mario Odyssey.
Nice.
Yeah. I still got to figure all that shit out.
I look forward to seeing how that turns out for you.
Yeah, I still got to figure out like pricing and stuff, and
you got like a month.
Rewards and goals. Yeah, I got no time. I've got freaking there's Mother's Day this weekend, and then another game night next weekend, and then there's really not that much time between now and then. Not much time between now and then.
No, there really isn't.
No.
But with that, we will be back next week with something else to talk about. Thanks for listening. Bye.
See yous.
Bye.